Hey guys, welcome back to the Ramblin' Railroad on RailRoads Online. In this episode, we do have an update. We'll talk about that here in just a second. I just started loading here at the sawmill, and we're going to be heading up. We've got about one or two more trips up to the iron mine, and then we'll have enough money to start buying that new Loco and making that new train. So, one of the new updates, things in the new update, you can see this arrow right here. This is showing you where it's going to be loaded. So you point at the car, and that's the one that's lined up to be loaded. So I saw this, and I checked out the release notes, and I saw it in the release notes, and I thought that was pretty cool. So figured I'd fire up the recording and talk about it. We got some other changes too we'll be talking about here momentarily. But for now, let's see. These both load. I didn't see it on this back one. Is this one going to load? No, it's not. So we can just put one here. I think that's going to load here, right? Yeah. Let's watch it happen. Oh, see, no, it put it over here. Interesting. Okay, so where's this one going to put it? I put it back here. Well, anyway, I'll get this train loaded up, and we'll talk about the updates, the other updates, because they have more to do with unloading. When we get up to the iron mine, we'll get this thing unloaded. See you then. Alright, we're cruising along here. We got a full load with Ultra heading up to the iron mine. Take a look at this change log. This is build 210105, just came out today. And the first one we got up here is they fixed a bug with logs, cordwood, beams, and lumber cannot be unloaded at the firewood depot. I've been meaning to actually resupply my firewood depot. I need to flip it around. That means I need to actually demolish it. But I haven't needed to bring wood to it for a long time. So I haven't ran into that issue yet. And when I brought firewood to it, it was kind of difficult, so maybe they got it fixed and it's easier now. That was all before I started recording. So the next thing they got on the change log here is they fixed a bug where freight could not be transferred to other cars. I'm not sure what that means. I'm guessing that means when you're loading it, if you load, like, accidentally put lumber on this car but you wanted beams, you could back up and change it over to beams and you would lose that lumber that was on there. Maybe that stopped working, or maybe they fixed it to where you can't do that. I'm not sure. Maybe that's something we can test later, or maybe if we accidentally run into it. They increased the freight spawn distance. Freight does spawn 260 centimeters from the car center when unloading is started. So they basically said that the tracks could be a little bit further away from the platforms, and we got to speed up a little bit. There's a steep climb right here. I'm guessing the tracks can be closer to the unloading platforms, and your freight will actually go into the onto the unloading platform and count. Get around this bend. This bend is so sharp. I would like to explore a new way of getting around there. There we go. Now we can speed up again. The next thing they got on the list here is that the freight can be unloaded anytime from cars. The exception: wrong delivery platform, other car is full, other car is wrong type, other car is correct type but is loaded with different freight. Oh, so I'm wondering if they added at some point the ability to have like two cars next to each other and transfer the materials from one car to the other. If that's what they were talking about with that bug fix. That's interesting. So the next one they have on here is added unloading arrow. The arrow shows exactly where the freight will be unloaded. Note: the unloading arrow should hover above the unloading platform car you want to unload. If you try to unload and have one of the above mentioned exceptions, excuse me, the arrow will not show up and unloading will be blocked. So we're going to see that here coming up pretty soon. I'm curious to see how this actually works. So when I was loading it, I thought maybe I could be selecting which car it was actually being loaded onto. But I think that was more coincidence, and it didn't work. I mean, it showed me what car had an arrow over it, but it wasn't able to actually load it. It would go to like the next car if I had the crane kind of in between the cars, as we just saw. Okay, so we're pulling in here to the iron mine, and we'll get these unloaded. So should I be seeing 2 arrows? Is that how that's supposed to work? Just the one. Okay, so this arrow is showing that it's off the platform, so I'm guessing that it won't count. You know what? I'm gonna try it. We're gonna do this, but first off, I'm gonna save. So to me, that's off the platform. So this one's off the platform too. So I'm gonna read that again. And they add the unloading arrow. The arrow shows exactly where the freight will be unloaded. Note, the unloading arrow should hover above the unloading platform car you want to unload. If you are trying to unload and have one of the above mentioned exceptions, the arrow will not show up and unloading will be blocked. So the exceptions again are the wrong delivery platform, other car is full, other car is of wrong type, other car is of correct type, but is loaded with a different freight. So it doesn't say anything about you can't unload it unless you're at the proper unloading dock. Basically it says it will unload it. This just helps you realize where you're unloading it, make sure you're at the right one, and if you're pulled up to the wrong dock, it won't let you do it. Okay, so I think we just saved a reload there. I'll go in this view. I can see a little better. I was kind of hoping when I read that, what am I doing? I was kind of hoping that they would have like the marker flags for car lengths. So because when we get some long trains, I have a hard time seeing the back, way back here. It'd be nice if I could measure out the train and put flags, down the line that I can stop at with my locomotive, and then I'd know that I am perfectly lined up back here at the unloading platforms. That, I believe, is a traditional way of doing things. Or rather, historical way, not traditional. Traditional is kind of the wrong word for that one. But more of a historical thing. They would use whistles and the train whistle as well. This game is designed to be a multiplayer game. You can have a friend standing back here and you can be running the locomotive or vice versa and just tell them when to stop. And that's very common when playing online. Uh-oh, we went too far. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see sometimes. This is only 6 cars. Wait until we get 12 cars or 11 with a caboose. Alright, we got them all loaded up. Gonna see just how much iron ore we're gonna have while we're waiting on that. 6,944. I think that's going to be enough, guys. I think we can actually buy the locomotive and the train cars that we need to build that bigger, longer train, and finally start delivering some iron ore to the smelter. So let's get back to the freight depot, and we'll catch you up there. All right, we're pulling into the freight depot here. We're going to take this first switch. There is another update. It's not with the game, it's with the channel. The last couple of videos, you might recall, I had some audio issues. The very first video, 2 or so, I was actually having mic issues, and then my mic finally died. Got a new microphone, and then I couldn't figure out my software. Screen recording software. So I do apologize for those other couple of videos. They didn't turn out all that great with the audio. And of course, I don't know that until I'm in the editor, and then I'm trying to do what I can with the editor. But I think I got the... I did a whole bunch of YouTube watching and reading online, trying to figure out exactly how to use this setup to get the performance and the features that I want for better audio quality. So let me know what you think. Is it better? I don't wear headphones, so I can't really hear all that well. I'm actually legally deaf as well. I wear hearing aids. So if it doesn't sound very good to you, please let me know, and I'll do what I can to fix it. Alright, so we're just going to pull in here. I'm going to reconfigure this little 6-car train because some of the brakes, some of the cars are turned around. And that's because I had some derailments, and when I had these derailments, I couldn't rotate the car. I don't think I've quite got that figured out yet on exactly how to rotate a car when re-railing. If you know how to do that, again, please leave it in the comments. I do read all comments, and I'll probably respond to those ones with a big giant thank you if you can actually help me out. So we're going to park this train here. We're going to assemble the train first. I got to buy 3 more of these 200 series and 2 of the iron ore cars. And then we're going to buy the locomotive. And I have made a decision. I'm going to purchase the Eureka. Now, the Eureka didn't do very well on the test. In fact, it failed the test quite miserably. But I'm not going to buy it right away. It might be the one after we buy today, because it did do really well. See, these cars here are turned around, all of them. So the brakes should either be in the front or the back. So I think I like them in the front. That's how they spawn in. They're in the front. So we're just going to take these 2 off, swing around, and I'll hook them up. How's that going to work? I don't know. I'll figure it out. So anyway, I'm going to use the Eureka to pull short trains and on flat ground. So I'm probably going to use it for things like pulling the cordwood down to the smelter, because that can only be 6 train cars anyway. And pulling up that 3% grade, though it's long, they'd be pulling that 6-car train empty. And it should do it pretty quickly. That's a very fast train. Might use it to run logs to the sawmill. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I need to set this brake. Use it, yeah, I might use it to run logs to the sawmill. And when we get to the other industries, the oil field, ironworks, I think that refinery is actually up on a hill way down south there. It kind of looks like that. Again, these maps aren't the greatest. So I'm pretty sure the oil field and the ironworks are pretty flat. So I think we might be able to use Eureka and its speed to get down there quickly. So that'll be fun. All right, let's see. There we go. Now all of these are facing the right direction. I like the brake handles in the front. Alright, so what's the first thing we gotta do? We need to buy more cars. They're not numbered in order. That get kind of out of whack almost immediately. But they're all individually numbered. And when I say the 200 series, I number them 204, 201. These ones over here, since they're the first cars, are the 100 series. And the iron ore cars, the cordwood cars, they are the 300 series. So, let's go into here. Where am I at? So 100 series, 200 series, 300 series, 400 series, what we're going to buy now. These are going to go on the front of the train. We need to order 2 of these. Oh, shoot. I just made a big mistake. I didn't save, I didn't label, and I just bought that. Okay, so let's pause, save game, back, continue. I just punched the buy now and I didn't even label it. Oh gosh. Okay, well, keep pushing the wrong button. 400. So this is going to be 401. One lit thing. That one is 402. The unnamed one, or put it on the end, whatever. And this is the Ramblin' Railroad. Now you can see Amblin R, whatever. Order. Yeah, there we go. Oop. Now these will go on the front of this train. So I'll get them ready. I'll turn this brake off. Go get Ultra and I'll swing them around and hook up to them. So a slight change of plan. Still have those 2 sitting over there. I was gonna bring Ultra around to go grab them and then put them on the front of the train at that end of the loop. I decided to hook it back up to the train and just back it down the main line, and this is where I will assemble the train. Just let it go all the way down the end, so that last car there will be the end of the train. Now, I think we can buy... We got 6 of these, we need 9. We need to buy them. So before I do anything though, you know, save often. Alright. We want these ones, so we need 207. Ramblin' Railroad. 209. Alright. So I'll use Ultra to hook up to them. I think we're okay. That's kind of a hard hit. Okay, so we got the train pretty much assembled. We have 11 cars, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But I want a new caboose. I love cabooses. And I don't really want to disconnect that one. So we'll just buy a new one. Go to G. There it is. Number, we did that first one as C1. So we'll do C-2. This is the second caboose for the Rambling Railroad. Awesome. Order. Then we can see that popped up on its own that time. So I'm gonna put it on the back of the train, which is that end, and then we'll order the locomotive. Right. There we got the completed train. 11 cars plus a caboose makes 12. And it's going to be a pretty balanced load for bringing material to the iron mine and bringing iron ore out. So we'll talk more about that when we actually make a run. That'll be probably the next video unless something else comes up. I kind of used Ultra just to give it a good shove, and I'm going to park him over here on one of these lines just to get him out of the way. Actually, we're going to hook him up to the log train. We might be running some log trains in the near future. We might need to actually get some logs. I have no idea what the sawmill is actually holding currently. Been pulling out of there, but I haven't been bringing any logs back to it. Alright, you can shut down now. There is a way you can actually kind of shut them down. You can open that up. That might help it cool off faster, but it's already starting to cool down. We're in neutral, more or less. Parking brake is set. Open up the regulator, and then open up the steam cocks. We'll watch that pressure just absolutely plummet. And that does work in this game. I say it plummets, but alright, squirrel moment. Let's get on with the show. Hopefully, we have enough. I think it's going to be close. Okay, so what locomotive should we get? It came down to... I did a bunch of research on this one and for the real life locomotive. And I think the game actually has them going faster than they actually did pull. Even on flat ground. So it came down to this one. The Cook Mogul. The D and RG Class 70. And I did learn, I did an absolute bunch of reading about these locomotives. These are actually based on real locomotives, obviously. That's the Denver and Rio Grande Railroad. And they had 18 of these locomotives. They loaned out or leased out 12 of them to the CNS Railroad, and they were all served their entire life pretty much with the CNS Railroad. But there's only really 18 of these ever made, and I think if I remember what I read right, only 3 of them still exist today. This one, there's only 3 of these ever made in this configuration, and one of them, they've renamed it the C19. It is actually in service. It's the only one left that's in service at Knott's Berry Farm. So we're going to buy this one. Now, the original did have this straight smokestack like that, but we can get different housings on there, and these are more for like spark arresters. But the original that I saw the photos of, and maybe I'll post a photo right here, it has a straight one. The headlight, I like the original, that one. All right. Oh, we need the... So, the original numbers for this one were 400 series. They were 401, 402, 412, 411, you know, things like that. And they were renumbered, like I said, like C19 was the one that's still in service. But... Or no, that was for the Eureka, I'm sorry. When they released the CNS, they lost their numbers. They were renumbered. But anyway, we have this locomotive over here, Ultra, and that's engine number 1. So it only makes sense that this is engine number 2. Now, I named Ultra number 1 because it was the first locomotive that I bought. So I'm thinking that we should go with number 2. But it just doesn't seem right. Maybe we'll just get used to it. Let's see what it looks like on there. Not 2D. I'm trying to move her. Ah! There we go. I will go with it. Why not? Alright, so is this where we do... This is where we name the locomotive. What should we name the locomotive? You know, I really haven't given this one any thought at all. Unfortunately, we cannot go back and edit this. We have to buy it with the name. So, I'm thinking Beast. Because it's a big boy. But we can't use Big Boy. Big Boy is Tagan's very famous locomotive. So, we're going to name it Beast. Beast. A Ramblin' Railroad. That's thinking about doing R and RR or something like that. But no, Ramblin' Railroad. I think that looks good. And this is Beast. Oop. Oop, oop, ah. All right. Let's do it. Boom. There it is. How much money do we have? $544. Wow. We just spent a whole bunch of money. She is absolutely gorgeous. $280. That's the white wheel configuration arrangement. There's the air compressor. Steam goes into this one, pumps a piston up and down, which pumps a piston up and down right here, and air is forced into a tank. Pretty simple design. The more modern ones, after about 1890, they had a high pressure and a low pressure cylinder sitting right next to each other, and the same on the bottom. Absolutely stunning. Oh, we need to get fire in this thing. I remember that from the testing. Come on. Oh, we need to get wood first. Just got to build some pressure, and then we can hook up to the tender. The problems I was having with the tender during testing was that I was putting a link here, like... That's part of the problem there, too. I was putting a link on the drawbar here, and it was on the cook. I was able to do it. I was putting a normal link there, but I wasn't able to connect it to here. And it was being a big pain in the butt. Then I discovered that. So that's the actual bar that I was kind of expecting to see instead of a little link. So that'll go just right to that pin. That pin come out? No. Looks like we got some steam. There goes the blow-off valve. Now let's reverse her back. Break off. Give it just a smidgen of movement. Doesn't take much. I don't know if that coupled or not. I don't think it did. And we gotta get water. I'm gonna enter the vehicle for this one. I was like, wait, where's the water hatch? That's right, it's on the tender. Okay, that's going to take a little bit to fill up. Because I'm sure we're about empty, if my memory is right. Yeah, I think this holds 5,000 in this tender. It might be more. I'm not sure. I didn't fill it all the way up during testing. I got to this point, I went and flipped all switches and came running right back, thinking that it was done. And when I looked at it, it was like under 4,000 units of water. So, not sure. Yeah, we just went and flipped some switches, and as we can see down here, we're over 5,000 now. So, I'm not sure how much this thing holds. I was gone a while, and it's still going. Oh, the water tower is at 324 out of 360. It was full when we started. We're going to be 6,000 units. Maybe that's gallons. We'll call it gallons. How about that? I don't know. Is that a lot for a tender? I'm not sure. You know, it seems like that'd be an awful lot for a tender. 6,000 gallons. Yeah, there we go. It just stopped. 6,000. Wonder if that's liters. Everything else seems to be kind of metric. Like the water temperature. Come on. There we go. You know, kind of the other units here. Like the boiler pressure. I'm not sure if that's pounds or not. It might be pounds. Air brake pressure. That might be pounds. I don't know. 110 just seems like it's... If that's Fahrenheit, that's really low. That might be Celsius. Because 100 degrees Celsius is boiling. So the fire temperature, 400 degrees for a fire seems kind of low. Oh, that's really fast. Alright, set the brake. We'll start turning brakes off. I did set every single one of these brakes. Alright, we're in the Caboose. What color lantern should we go with? Red usually indicates the end of the train, but white would be like I'm guessing like a spotlight over the train for the brakemen to see as they went along the train setting brakes. And green, I'm not sure what green was used for on a Caboose. We're going to go with red, because this is the end of the train. pretty sure that they would just hang like lanterns off the back. Is that what this is? Oh, look at that. Okay. Huh, I didn't notice that before. Think I'm on this side too? Oh, they do. Cool. Well, maybe we'll change this one to green just for fun. There we go. Be a little different. That one's still glowing over there. Cool. Alright, well, let's go pick up some products and get them delivered. Alright, we're gonna take the slack out. This is a long train, so we gotta go easy. Take all the slack out. So I see that caboose start to move. We'll give it a little more. Alright. That's how you break couplers between these cars. I put these iron ore cars up front here because they are heavy. And we do need to pay attention to the balance of the train as far as weight goes. We don't want to have these full and this rest of this train empty with these pushing on them going down a hill. Brakemen would of course be setting brakes for them. But we are a one-man show. That caboose really does help show me where the end of the train is. I don't have to count cars. Make sure that the train did not break apart. Alright. Well, that's going to do it for this one. I'm going to get loaded up here and make a run to the iron mine. And of course I'll film that. That'll be the next episode unless something else comes up between now and then. So thank you very much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed this content. It really does help out. Have a good day.